Hi, I'm Goel, and welcome to What Do You, Your Kids, Employees, and Interns Need to Know About Social Media. In this presentation, we will look at how postings on Facebook, MySpace, and other sites have led to kids being thrown out of college, losing their jobs, or adults being arrested around the world. This is happening today, each and every day around the world. If you have any questions or you wish to contact me, please feel free to email me, raj@brainleak.com. Connect with me on LinkedIn, or if it's a critical issue, call me on my cell, 917-685-7731. Let's start with 2003. Michael Hanscom, a 22-year-old intern, worked for a publishing company in Seattle and Redmond, Washington. His employer had a large contract with Microsoft spanning about 25 years. When Microsoft bought a bunch of brand new Apple G5 servers, Mike took a photo, published it on his webpage with the title, "The Evil Empire Buys G5." Within short order, Microsoft found out, and they had him fired. Michael Hanscom claimed in his defense that his employer never trained him on their privacy policies, and he didn't know that he was subject to Microsoft's policies. It's a question for you, as an employer and a business owner. Do you train your employees, interns, new hires on your privacy policies? Do you train them? Do they know that it's not okay to post what's going on in the company? What's going on with a client, a project, a new client, a client that you lost, etc., etc. And if you're a student or a future employee or currently looking for a job, do you know that it's not okay, and in some cases might be illegal, to post what's going on at your employer, what new client they've landed, what projects they're working on, what brands of equipment they use, and other things? These are all proprietary information to the business and the business owner, and you don't want to be leaking it intentionally or accidentally. Now you might argue this is a one-time thing, happened in 2003, one dumb kid, the world's grown up since then. Unfortunately, it hasn't. Just a few weeks ago in the UK, a guy named Chris was working for the Apple store in London. Apple has some very strong privacy and security policies. They train all their employees on it, and one of them is that you cannot talk about Apple in print or in writing or in video without written permission from Apple. Mr. Crisp didn't like his manager. He posted some fairly negative comments about Apple and his boss on his private Facebook section. One of his so-called Facebook friends took those musings, printed them out, and showed them to management. Mr. Crisp was terminated. He sued Apple to get his job back. Apple countersued, and the London Tribunal found that since anyone could take anything off of a Facebook private site if they were a friend of yours and share it with other people, in their opinion, nothing on Facebook could be considered private. You now have UK case law that says nothing on Facebook is really private. And what happens in the UK, as we will see, also applies to other parts of the world. For those of you who are in elementary school, junior high school, or high school currently applying for colleges, this is of use to you. A few years ago, they did a survey of college administrators, and they asked them, do you look at Facebook, MySpace, and social media profiles of candidates? 38% of college admissions officers admitted to looking at social media profiles, and one even admitted to denying a kid admission to college based on what was found in the social media profile. So think about this. A kid was denied admission to college of his or her choice because of what somebody posted or what they posted about themselves in social media. It's not enough that they can throw you out of, keep you out of college. In this case, Michael Gwynn attended a Christian university, and as part of his code of admissions process, he pledged to abide by the campus code of conduct. That is not a legal document. It's not a contract. It's just a promise to abide by the college code of conduct. They are a Catholic university, and Michael Gwynn happens to be gay. And on his Facebook page or MySpace page, he put up photos of himself in drag on Halloween, with some musings about some boys that he thought were cute. One of his social media friends printed this out, showed the profile to college administrators, and the college threw him out. Ponder that for a minute. That something you say online as a drunken kid on Halloween can be used to throw you out of college and change your future permanently. And it's not just underage kids doing this. Stacy Snyder is an adult. At the time of her case, she was an adult in the Masters of Education program in Pennsylvania. If you know anything about education in America, then you know that if you want to teach You have to get a degree in education, and as part of your degree requirements, you are required to teach kids in elementary and high school as a student teacher. You shadow a professional teacher, and you learn from her how to manage a classroom. On Halloween, Stacy had a MySpace photo of her dressed up as a pirate, captioned "Drunken Pirate," and she was holding the classic red Solo cup to her lips. We have no idea if Stacy was sober or drunk at the time. We have no idea what was in the cup. What we do know is the following. The college administrators found this photo. They threw her out of the education program, rescinded her teaching privileges, and offered to let her graduate with a degree in English, not education. She sued the college and lost her case. In one single photo, in one single instant, her life is altered irrevocably. She cannot teach in the United States legally because she does not have a master's in education. She has a master's in English. She can be a corporate consultant. She can do consulting for any other firm, but she cannot teach children, which is her passion, due to one photo on MySpace. In Monopoly, when you get the card that says bank error in your favor, collect 200. Bank makes a mistake, you get to keep the money. In real life, that's not true. In this particular case, a New Zealand couple went to their bank and found that the bank had made an error, put 20 million Kiwi dollars in their account. Not being overly dumb, they took the money and ran. The New Zealand police put out radio appeals, TV appeals, newspaper ads, police to neighbors, and everybody else who'd listen. They couldn't find them. But they knew that the man had a sister in Denver. So working with the US FBI, they monitored her Facebook page. When she put up a status update saying, "Flying to Hong Kong for a family reunion," the New Zealand police and the Hong Kong police were there to greet her. They shadowed her, and when she put up an update talking about how hot it was in Hong Kong and how much she loved the local beer, the cops swooped in. Her brother and his girlfriend are now in jail. Moral of the story: if the bank makes an error in your favor and you decide to keep the money, don't tell your family about it, because they will blab about it on Facebook or other social media. In this particular case, there was an Italian hitman on the run for over 10 years. The Italian police just could not locate him. A couple of months ago, he goes to a very, very posh resort in the Spanish Riviera, and his girlfriend puts up a photo of herself on her Facebook page standing in front of Nikki Beach sign. Within a few hours, the Italian police and the Spanish authorities seized the hitman and his girlfriend. Moral of the story: if you're a criminal on the run, Facebook is not your friend. Do not let anyone put photos of you on Facebook. For whatever reason, people like to commit crimes and brag about it. It's a failing of human nature, I suppose. In this case, and lots of other cases, criminals have been caught for stealing merchandise and putting pictures of themselves on Facebook. In his case, this North Carolina man sold a Mercedes-Benz, took a photo of himself in front of the Benz, put it up on Facebook. How much more do you have to give the cops to arrest you? If you're going to commit a crime, don't take photos. If you take photos, don't post them online. I guess that should be obvious to most people, but it isn't to a large swath of humanity that commits crimes and goes social about it. On to more serious cases. Shannon Jackson was harassing one of the women in her neighborhood, and the woman had a restraining order against Shannon Jackson. Shannon Jackson kept poking her victim through Facebook. A judge found that poking someone through Facebook is a violation of a restraint order. What's the moral here? Lesson to be learned. Number one, we now have legal precedent in the United States that connecting with someone over social media can be a violation of temporary restraint orders. This applies to stalkers, ex-girlfriends, ex-boyfriends, and in divorce cases. So if you have a TRO against you, don't contact them over social media. If you take out a TRO, or you get a restraint order against somebody else, you should know that they cannot harass you or intimidate you online using tweets, pokes, IMs, SMSs, or anything else. In this case, an American couple went to the Bahamas, captured a rare iguana, killed it, grilled it, ate it, took photos, put them up on Facebook. Lesson number one, please don't kill endangered animals. Number 2, if you're going to break the law and commit crimes, don't take photos and post them. You will go to jail. Cops don't like people committing crimes. They really, really hate it when you rub it in their faces by bragging about it. On to more serious trends, and this comes to us from Hong Kong. There's a new bank in Hong Kong called Lendo Bank. They are targeting the young crowd, the social media crowd. And if you give them your social media credentials, your Facebook username, password, your MySpace, Twitter username and passwords, and so on, they will give you a better rate on your loan. And one of the agreements you sign with them as part of getting the loan is that they can put up wall posts and media stories about you to your friends and your networks about how great a deal they are giving you, what a great bank they are. They also buried in their terms that if you're late, if you're a deadbeat, they can broadcast to the world through your social media accounts that you're a deadbeat. This bank in Hong Kong is doing it. I suspect other countries and other banks will do the same. So if you're taking out a credit card, a loan, a mortgage of any kind anywhere in the world, you may want to read your terms of your loan very, very closely. We also know that lots of doctors and dentists are now requiring patients to sign away their social media and online rights before giving them medical care. It is not legal. These contracts have no weight in court, at least not in the United States. But that doesn't prevent dumb people from signing them or dumber people from asking you to sign them. You should know your legal rights before you sign any contract. And if you have any questions about it, talk to your parents, talk to your colleagues, or better yet, talk to your lawyer. Nashua, New Hampshire. It's not exactly a large urban city. In fact, it's a very small town. And over a period of a few months, a bunch of local criminals friended their neighbors on Facebook. And when their neighbors put up pictures of their brand new TV, brand new trucks, and so on, they kept note. And when these same said neighbors went on vacation, the criminals swooped in and helped themselves to over $100,000 in stolen goods in over 50 break-ins. In a separate case, Adam Savage, Mr. Mythbuster himself, a bit of a privacy nut, took a picture of his brand new Toyota Tacoma in front of his house and put it up on Flickr in less than 5 minutes. His fans had downloaded the photo, pulled out the geotag data, and knew exactly where Adam's house was. Or is, rather. Why? Every smartphone you've bought in the last 5 years and most digital cameras you've bought in the last 10 years automatically record date, time, and GPS or geotag data with the photo. And most online sharing sites, in fact, almost every online photo sharing site, does not strip this data. Putting geotag data into the photos is automatic. Removing it requires a bit of a manual process. Most people don't do it. As a result, every time you take a photo, you're also broadcasting to the world when, where, and who's involved. How does it apply to most of us in the real world? There's a new trend going on where parents are setting up "We're having a baby" website. Lots of birthing clinics and hospitals now encourage families or assist families in putting up these "We're having a baby" website. Don't do it. What have you done by putting up the "We're having a baby" website? You have destroyed your child's privacy for life. You've disclosed their date of birth, their gender, the town of birth, and mother's maiden name. How much more information do you need to open a credit account? A credit card or a bank loan or a car loan? Name? Check. Date of birth? Check. Gender? Check. Address? That can be inferred or found online if we know what time you were born in. Hell, many families even disclose what their address is. That's where they're having the baby showers or the naming parties or first birthday parties. So if you're a parent or a grandparent and you're expecting a baby or a grandchild, do not put up public websites about this. Use phone calls, use emails, send plain old postcards and greeting cards. Social media is not your friend. It will destroy your kids' privacy for life. Now, it's not just individuals doing stupid things. Corporations are doing stupider things. Facebook's privacy policies have said that they protect your privacy, that they don't give your real name out to advertisers. They've been lying to you. They've been lying to all of us. It's been their standard practice to reveal a lot more information about you, the Facebook user, to their advertisers, including your real name, what ads you're looking at, what you've clicked on, what applications you've installed, In fact, everything in your profile on Facebook is available to any third-party application or advertiser who uses Facebook. On Facebook, you are not the customer, you are the product. Your information is what Facebook is selling to their customers, which are advertisers and governments around the world. In the US, the rate of divorce has not really changed over the last decade. However, in the last 5 years, the number of divorces citing Facebook as a source of trouble has increased to about 20%. Match.com says 1 in 5 marriages are made online. You could also say that 1 in 5 divorces are started online thanks to Facebook in the United States. In the UK, they're a bit more ahead of us. While their rate of divorce also has not changed, 1/3 of all divorces in the last 3 years have cited Facebook as a contributing cause of divorce. If your marriage is already in trouble, you may want to talk to each other, you may want to go to counseling. Going to Facebook will only lead to further trouble. Here's a fun story for you. Facebook and Farmville and other social media weblogs are being used in more and more court cases. In this particular case, the wife claimed that the husband was an unfit parent and she was a fantastic mother and she took great care of her kids. And on the day she was supposed to be with the kids at the beach, she was actually on Farmville and World of Warcraft playing video games with her boyfriend. The husband's lawyer subpoenaed the logs. They were able to prove in court that, Your Honor, she lied. The husband has custody of the kids. Moral of the story, don't lie to the judge. Judges hate it when you lie to them. In the Chris versus Apple case in the UK, we discussed how in London, or rather in the United Kingdom now, it is case law that anything on Facebook is no longer considered private. Just a few weeks ago in Australia, a similar case occurred. News magazine or a TV station published photos of a 7-year-old boy that they found on Facebook. The parents sued for breach of privacy, and the Australian Communication Media Authority determined that accessing and broadcasting photos published on Facebook is not a privacy breach because anything on Facebook is considered public property, or at least public data. So now you have 2 major first world countries with large economies where you have case law, actual decisions from tribunals or judges saying that anything on Facebook is not private. And it's not just Facebook and Google who are evil. E-ZPass logs have been used in more and more divorces. There's a great article the Daily News put up. E-ZPass, the off-ramp to adultery. And also a lot of criminal cases. The police and the FBI and the government are using E-ZPass logs to prove whereabouts of suspects. As if E-ZPass wasn't bad enough, as a tool it's fantastic. I love using it in my vehicle to drive. It saves me hours of waiting in line. As a privacy advocate, it's a bit of a cause for concern, but the new generation of E-ZPasses are absolutely frightening. The manufacturer applied for a patent which was granted, where they're now going to put 2 cameras in E-ZPasses. One looking outwards, so they can make sure that you're in the right toll lanes and paying your toll, and one looking inwards. Officially, the explanation is that so many cars are being stolen with E-ZPass that if somebody steals your car and they go through a toll gate, you are not liable for the tolls. Fantastic. Now, what are the chances that the video taken by these E-ZPass cameras will be used exactly for that purpose and no other purpose? I don't buy it. These videos will be used more and more by law enforcement and by insurers. If you're a bad driver, a fast driver, a drunken driver, an intoxicated driver, a teenager joyriding, just a new driver, these videos can be used against you in court. They can be used against you to deny coverage or to refuse claims. This is coming. So how much does Facebook know about you? In the US, we really can't answer that question, because as a private corporation, they have no legal obligation to tell us what they collect on us. In Europe, however, there is EU privacy law, which enables citizens to go to private corporations and say, give me my data. So a German law student did exactly that. And what he found is that Facebook shipped him a CD containing over 800 pages worth of data. Every friend request he'd gotten, every friend request he'd made, everyone he'd friended, everyone he'd ignored, everyone he rejected, all the wall posts he made, all the comments he made, all the comments made about him, including the ones he deleted, all the photos he was tagged in. This is a huge amount of data. Look at your credit profile. It's 2, 3, 4 pages. And we use that to give you credit or deny you credit. This is 800, and Facebook is now collecting over 800 pages of data on one human being. Oh, and by the way, as a punchline, Facebook also told him in writing that there's lots of other data they can't tell him they have on him because it's a trade secret. So apparently, 800 pages of information is not enough. They are collecting more, which they do not have to legally disclose. Now, a fun note about Facebook security. Facebook says, we care about the user's privacy. We respect your privacy. A few weeks ago, the Facebook bodybuilder group, Bodybuilder Forum, was uploading some photos, and they found a glitch. They found that within short order, they could access anybody's photos on Facebook. The story went viral, and a UK newspaper, the Daily Mail, actually was able to access all of Mark Zuckerberg's private photos. You see pictures of him catching a chicken, killing and grilling it. You see pictures of his lovely girlfriend in the $7 million house. Now ponder this for a minute. If Facebook cannot protect Zuckerberg's private photos, what are the chances they can protect yours? The answer is 0. Now what's going on around the world? Things that you should know. In the US, we have the Miranda law, which says anytime you get arrested, the cops have to tell you that anything you can say can and will be used against you in the court of law. On the internet, it goes one step further. Everything that you say, write, post, tweet, blog about can and will be used against you now and in the future by everyone around the world. By lawyers, governments, police, your friends, your enemies, you name it. Let's start with the following. In most Western countries, the G20, the G7, you can say nasty things about your government without repercussion. You can say the president is an idiot. You can say your congressmen are crooked. You can say the prime minister is a moron. However, in Lebanon, a couple of college kids put up a Facebook page saying, we don't want a hypocrite as a president. Not exactly incendiary statements. This is not calling for the overthrow of the government. This is merely stating that they don't want a hypocrite as a president. However, in Lebanon, it is illegal to slander the presidency. These college kids are now in jail. And it doesn't stop there. In the US, a reporter created a fake profile called Fake Steve Jobs, made lots of money, got a book deal out of it. In Morocco, this father put up a fake Facebook profile naming himself Prince Mullah Rashid, a fake Prince of Morocco. The Moroccan royal family didn't find this funny, and they had him jailed for identity theft. So a fake Facebook profile about a fake prince leads to a real jail sentence. This story might hit closer to home. The gentleman in the photo in the middle, he is a Thai national, born in Thailand, a U.S. citizen. And he was translating a book from Thai into English that was critical of the monarchy. The moment he landed in Thailand, he was arrested for the crime of lèse-majesté, insulting the royalty. In large parts of the world, saying negative things about the government can land you in jail. So if you're a college student thinking of studying abroad, if you're the parent of college kids who are thinking of studying abroad, be warned. Know the laws of the countries you're going to go to before you start posting online, or better yet, scrub your online profiles. So far we've looked at actions of individuals, some smart, some stupid, some accidental. We've also looked at what Facebook is doing to your privacy. Now let's talk about the U.S. government. In 2001, after the attack on the World Trade Towers, the U.S. Congress passed the Patriot Act. In theory, this act was designed to give law enforcement more powers so they could prevent terrorist acts on the U.S. homeland. One of the provisions of the Patriot Act allows the U.S. government to access data from anywhere in the world on American servers and bring it back to the US. Think of it as digital rendition of your data. Last year at a security conference, Microsoft's head of legal counsel actually admitted in an open microphone that as a US corporation, even though they have built Microsoft Azure Cloud in the EU using EU data centers, as an American corporation, any data stored on Microsoft Azure EU can be seized and renditioned back to the United States through the Patriot Act. The Irish government put out a memo a few months ago warning all arms of the Irish government to avoid using Amazon, Microsoft Azure, Rackspace, to avoid using any American-owned corporation or any transit providers owned by American corporations, because the Patriot Act allows the U.S. government to rendition data back to the United States. The Irish government took the further step of warning all the other EU nations that they should not use any American-owned data centers. So if you're reading this in the EU, or listening to this in EU, Canada, other countries that are not America, you should look at what vendors do you use. Are your vendors using Amazon AWS, Amazon S3, or other U.S. American-owned services in the back end, which would enable the U.S. government to seize your data, bring it back to the U.S. with no warning? The Patriot Act allows it, and most governments in this world have agreed to let the U.S. government do what it likes on the internet. When Barack Obama got elected, there was large concerns in this country that he might be assassinated. And as part of a Secret Service detail, the Secret Service and Homeland Security got together and built a very, very large social media profiling engine, a surveillance engine, that looked at Facebook posts, tweets, Google searches to see who might be a threat to the new president. Well, Obama has been in office now for over 3 years. This engine has not gone away. In fact, it's gotten bigger. As of last week, the FBI announced they're putting out an RFP to build the world's largest surveillance engine to track every single Facebook post, every single tweet, every web post, every blog post, every social media comment around the world. And they are not alone. China, Iran, Syria, Lebanon, England, EU, Germany, France. Every government of every political stripe is busy building these large, massive databases so that anything you say now, harmless or otherwise, can be used against you at a later date. If you ever use the Wayback Machine on the internet, it's a neat research project. You can go back and look at old web pages, what this site looked like 5, 10, 15 years ago. Well, governments aren't dumb. They might be slow, but they're not dumb. They want to do the same exact thing with everything you say and people say about you. Except in their case, they don't want a partial record like the Wayback Machine. They want a complete record. By the way, most of you may not know this, but every tweet ever sent, and every tweet going forward that will ever be sent, is being automatically copied and stored by the U.S. Library of Congress. Think of that for a minute. Every tweet ever sent by anyone in the world is already being cataloged by the U.S. government. Lastly, I'll leave you with this. On the left is Julian Assange, a man who is currently under house arrest and may go to jail for the crime of leaking government secrets to the world. On the right is Mark Zuckerberg, a kid who convinced you, me, and 800 million other people around the world to give him more data about ourselves, our friends, our neighbors than we ever thought possible. And as a result, he's going to be a mega billionaire any day now. What's the moral of the story? Governments want to know everything about you. Corporations want to know everything about you. And they're shameless about giving us tools and conveniences that let us share about ourselves. However, they do not like it when their secrets are leaked, when they are embarrassed. And when that occurs, they will send you to jail or worse. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me, roger@billink.com, connect with me on LinkedIn, or call me on my cell. Just a brief note about me and my company. I run a company called BrainLink. We are 7 people in New York City. We are passionate about information security, about growing your business. If you're a lawyer, an accountant, or a business owner in New York City, primarily in Manhattan, we'd love to be your IT company. If you're a hospital or a large corporation across the United States dealing with IT compliance issues, HIPAA, PCI, Red Flag, and you want somebody who can do great audits, hire me. If you want someone who can educate your staff or your management on laws and security challenges that apply to you and your organization specifically, hire me as a speaker. Next steps. If you have any questions about this presentation or any other topic related to technology or security or privacy, feel free to contact me. If you're a coordinator for your local bar association, CPA society, or conference, you're looking for speakers, book me as a speaker. I have delivered over 3,000 hours of CLEs to various bar associations. I have spoken at several accounting associations, including New York State Society of CPAs, and hundreds of security conferences. And as a parent, as a concerned citizen, if you would like me to speak at your kids' high school, college, after-school club, or PTA meetings, email me. Let's arrange for me to come educate them, their teachers, and you on social media and privacy threats and digital civil rights in the 20th